Welcome to Tran wins Symphony of War. In a dramatic turn of events, Sayunaa's Dargon dynasty has returned to the throne. The newly coronated king, fulfilling the wishes of his people, declares Sayunaa an ally of the Nephilim army and dedicates its resources to the war with the Empire of Archelaus. The war has turned against Casamir, having been defeated time and time again around the world. Their resources have been stretched thin, which has drastically reduced their area of control. The main Imperial armies have pulled out of the fringe territories to protect the Heartlands. The Nephilim army has yet to encounter the First Imperial Army, a powerful force of elite cavalry that went undefeated in the Archelaus Wars of Conquest. Before them lies Stormrook, a mighty fortress that has been the gateway to the rich lands of the core of Viridia. The Imperial army has dug itself in deep and marshaled the entirety of their legions in expectation of a full-scale invasion by Tran. Seeking to strike at the Imperial Heartlands before they have time to regroup, Tran leaves Ezram to attack the enemy stronghold at Stormrook. Capture of Stormrook and the gleaming rich city of Rimorgue would seal the fate of the empire that stands before them. We'll go ahead and claim the bonded for Sybil and Abigail towards the future chapters, and it doesn't seem to affect anything else besides that one bond that we're locking ourselves out of. Alright, we have a choice between Beatrix Jules, Adelia Lysander, Nerima Jules, Tran Beatrix, and Tran Nerima. We will go with Nerima Jules, only a king to melt her heart. My king, all is well. The Dargon dynasty is restored. I'll never get used to that, especially from you, Nerima. You must embrace your heritage. Our people are desperate for a return to the glory of old. Do not worry, we of the Scions of Dargon will not leave your side. Thanks so much. But please, you've done so much of the work. All I did was be born. You should still refer to me as Jules. That is another matter. The name Jules was given to you by Viridian aristocracy. It is not a proper name for a Sayunari king. May I suggest Casim, the name of your great-grandfather, the first descendant of Dargon who was denied the crown. King Casim of Dargon? Well, let me think about it. Have you considered acquiring a queen to pass on your royal lineage? Acquiring? Not yet. I implore you to take a Sayunari woman, a tender, pretty one. When we have time, you will find that Sayunaa is overflowing with them. Oh, okay. Well, what about you? You're a Sayunari woman, are you not? My king? I am hardened by war. I could not provide a warm haven for you to rely upon as a man. Sayunari men like you are traditional and would be better served, but I'm not like them at all. I love that you're tough and determined, like a war goddess. But please don't think about that. Even with all you've been through, you've never lost sight of your life's work. I've never admired one as much as I do you. You are Sayunaa's greatest hero. You humble me. Jules, you face tremendous challenges. I will let you fall back into me for refuge whenever you need, wherever and beyond, my king. Remy and Jules have developed a deep bond. Okay, before we move on, we are finally going to use our proof of merits. We are not going to be using them for the stat gains, though that is a part of it. We'll be using them to recognize the soldiers who have served with us for the longest period of time, for their years of meritorious conduct. First, we are going to lock in Barnabas as a Sentinel. While I have moved him back and forth between Sentinel and Knight from time to time, I do like him being a Sentinel because that makes him unique. He really only has those two tier 3 endings, as a Sentinel or as a Knight. And if you might remember, without using any items on him, he required about level 60 to become a Sentinel. And you finished the game at level 50. So this is going to make him a unique Barnabas as far as online videos go. Barnabas, congratulations. You are our first gilded or golden warrior. Slayer Alphonse was one of our first named mercenaries. We hired him, I think, sometime during Divine Hammer of Denari, maybe right after that. But while I have converted him to a Sentinel, even a Knight at times, when the situation called for it, he has been with us for a very long time. So he also gets a badge of honor. Zeteni the Undying. This character was one I was elated to see when I was prepping for the Chapter 12 missions. He had Immortal Spirit, which is a skill I love, but hasn't really come in that handy, because it's better not to be in the dying status. Deal with the enemy before that happens. If you have 1 hit point, it's probably unlikely you're going to kill the enemy. So yeah, as cool as it sounds, it hasn't been that useful, but he still has many other benefits as a Sentinel. He easily maxed out at 990 life. I trained him as a warbow for quite some time, just so he could get more skill points. His subordinates, we'll call them, Rolf, Atkins, Tobias, Null, they are not... They've only been placed in their squad leader positions for a short period of time. So while they are very important, they are not notable and will be passed up for promotion at this time, but that shouldn't be necessary cause for sadness, because this does mean that, for example, if time came, I could easily convert him to, say, a Centurion if I needed to, which is worth thinking about for this upcoming mission, because there'll be a lot of cavalry enemies. Alright, Synthos the Muse is our reservist. If it weren't for... Since I can deploy 20 people, I have 21 squads set up. Jules is taking up Synthos the Muse's deployment roster for this next mission, because Jules seems like the most fitting storyline character for this next mission, coming in from Sayunaa. New Monarch and everything. Synthos the Muse will be sitting back for this round. He's a little bit more magic heavy as his party goes compared to the other parties. But although he is a treasure hunter and silver-tongued soldier, which is, he's just been made treasure hunter, he, of course, he's not even been deployed as a squad leader before or yet, so he will also be passed up for a promotion. He started as an apprentice. I leveled him up as a fire mage and lightning mage. I think I might have even given him some time as an ice mage. I think lightning mage might be the way to go. I haven't really compared damage between ice mage and lightning mage, but if I needed more ice mage style damage, sorceresses are great for that, because they both attack in a diamond-shaped pattern. Lightning mage's attack is a straight column to the units, row to us from our sideways view. So we shall skip him over for promotion as well. Percy was one of our very first hirelings to become a squad leader. He was a mercenary, but not a named one. He definitely gets proof of merit. Now, he has spent a lot of time as different classes. Like, he has jumped around pretty much every tier 3 class, except for maybe like Raider. But he's been there, he's been all over the place. From Sentinel, the Centurion, the Samurai, he's been everywhere. He started as a spearman in our cause, but today we commemorate his service as a knight. Ludwig has been with us maybe 1 or 2 missions as a squad captain. He is a silver-tongued squad leader who was given the treasure hunter book. He shall also be passed up for promotion. However, Barad and his compatriot Filbert, who will show up right after him, they've been with us for most of the game, basically ever since the Nephilim army has returned. We will lock them in as dragoons. These guys were archers, so they couldn't become a knight, but the next best horse unit for them in this capacity is going to be a dragoon. I could also make them into a raider, but it's okay. I want these squad leaders to be in front. Isolde, very similar to Ludwig, started out as a silver-tongued leader and gained the treasure hunter through a skill book. So she's also one of our reservists who joined at the same time as Ludwig. Well, they probably joined earlier, but they weren't really used until recently. They've only been out for maybe 2 missions, if that. Isolde will not yet currently be given a badge of honor. Linnea, Adelina, and Fakri, however, have been our 3 Valkyries since basically chapter 18 or whenever the team was made whole. So they should all become Odin as well. And that's everybody. Just everybody else I can think of. I mean, we have other characters like Jules, Sybil, and Abigail, but we'll wait on that, because there's some stuff I want to talk about later. Okay, and before we deploy, we'll showcase the Platinum Arena since we haven't put that on video yet. For some reason, this takes place out in space. This is where your character creation backdrop is. These guys will be the same each time, I believe. These 5 will be randomized, so this guy will be the same.
Oh, sorry. Did you need something?
Dinner time. Repent before the righteous. Where am I needed?
How can I help, my lord? Awaiting your orders.
Often there will be a dragon flyer, and he does tend to try to ignore your units. I've even actually noticed them stepping away from your guy. Meaning, like, I looked at how far he could move and stood at the end of his movement thinking he would stop there and attack. And he went down, away from my home base. So what my recommendation, if you needed it for the Platinum Arena, I don't know, is to have your lowest battle rating guy go south. This will result in all the enemy walking through this, taking longer to get to you, and you don't have to worry about all this terrain in the middle or all these archers. That's why I sent Stefan down here. He has the lowest threat rating of everybody in the team. And I sent my flyer up north because there's no way they disembark from this wall, so the flyer can just fly right over. No biggie. So we could do force. I don't know. I mean, should I force surrender during arena? I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Now, in arena, permadeath is disabled, so it's not that big a deal. So we're not actually killing these guys, I would assume.
Do you know who I am? You make this too easy. A paladin never surrenders.
Oops.
We will always find a way. Break their resolve. Bet you didn't see this one coming. I love this part.
They decided to run north because she thinks she can use the wall to her advantage to attack Stefan from. That's fine.
Dinner time.
The army is ready. Battle formations.
Sayunaa be with us.
She'll always get an extra attack because she's got the Sin Credo, so that makes her really good for force surrendering.
Thirsty here.
Stay strong, everyone.
Now I know I've left a path open to my home base, but he can't reach it in time. Lysander's not only a cavalry unit, but he's got the Boots of Tyranny. There's no way he can outpace me. That dude's a little bit resistant to magic, huh? I prefer to take at least one prisoner from every squad. He doesn't have any perks towards it. He has 73 magic, 26 armor. The others have... I mean, this guy has 71 magic.
What's our next tactic?
So it looks like I am unilaterally destroying them. I do want to point out that if they get first strike on me in some cases, their champions can actually devastate my front row army.
Repent before the righteous.
Time to end this.
Ready for the barbecue. Do you know who I am? You make this too easy.
What kind of rewards do you get for Platinum Arena? You get 1 proof of merit, basically guaranteed, and then 3 high-level items. In this case, we got a 2nd proof of merit and 2 Grandmaster spellbooks. Okay, now that I've shown that off, let's continue. Throne Room, Imperial Palace. Yes, yes. Tell me what you have to say, cultist. Sayunaa has broken the agreement and declared war. The Imperial legions of Isanter, Lemelin, and Westerfield are overwhelmed by rebellions and have pulled back to the Heartlands. And Tran. Tran is dead. You may brainwash your masses of cultists, but you cannot fool me. You told me this wouldn't happen. You told me my armies would be invincible. We see that you've lost your mental capacities. Perhaps your sense of desperation has broken you. But we of the followers of Xanatus are true to our word, and we will dispatch the false one for you. Remain in the capital until we tell you otherwise. Tran. I hate you. I hope they stop him. Please, someone, anyone, stop him! Seems like they've put all their hopes in Stormrook's defense. Could we be the first in 1,000 years to conquer Stormrook Castle from the east? Victory over Casamir is all but inevitable. The challenge will be to minimize casualties during this difficult final stretch. What gives? Aren't you looking forward to taking that weasel off the throne? These are the homelands of the Empire, and the people may not desire a presence as others have. However, the unfortunate truth is that the war will not end as long as Casamir lives. Nothing could stand between my blade and Casamir's throat. My own desire for revenge aside, Beatrix says that the last Nephilim shrine is inside the Imperial Palace. She hasn't been wrong yet. Tran, I need you to listen. You should not claim the last divine weapon. Why not? I see the way you Nephilim act around those shrines. You are hypnotized. A voice calling out to you, compelling you to seize your destiny. It is unsettling, and I am not the only one who has noticed. The purpose of finding these weapons is to defeat Casamir. What use is pursuing the Light Fury if you must defeat him to get it? I was once a street urchin, begging for a small piece of bread. But look what I've built for myself now. You'd have me abandon this path. You provoked us into a war with Sayunaa, Tran, and now flirt with the role not of liberator, but conqueror. It may have been in a former life, but I still remember. I still hear the sound of Casamir's guns as they tore my body to shreds. I still remember the roars of the crowd, cheering the execution of a traitor, my last sense before everything went black. And yet, I stand before you by the will of Donar. Perhaps the real Tran is still dead. What do you think, Lysander? Am I just some kind of divine artifice? A weapon sent to right Tanra's wrongs? These questions torture me every day. I have no other purpose than this, Lysander. You swore to be my right hand, but it seems now you would feel more at peace if you resigned from the Nephilim army. Is that what you want? Please, I know you better than that. You choose your own path. Casamir must be destroyed for the good of Tanra. Only you have the power to do so. Let us put an end to this war together, Tran. We will. Just hold out a little longer. Chapter 26. Stormrook Looms. Someone sounds a little jelly that he's not Nephilim. Alright, let's go and deploy our Sentinels. We count Slayer Alphonse as part of our Sentinel team. And we deploy our heroes, or half infantry, half cavalry. Then we'll deploy our knights. Whoops, not Synthos. His role or his slot allocation for this map has been taken over by Jules. And then Beatrix the Flyer. One of the reasons why we need Beatrix to be a flyer is because of her low leadership capacity. A dragon takes up 2 spots and is only 13 capacity, rather than having 2 different soldiers for 16 capacity. Her and Diana both have the Syncredo, which allows these very powerful units to do extra damage. Yes, the rest of their army does less, but Diana, again, is just a monster on her own. Even if I didn't do much of any damage there, it's good to lower their morale. And they'll shoot back at me here, but it's alright.
awaiting your orders.
How can I help, my lord?
A paladin never surrenders.
Bet you didn't see this one coming.
Dinner time.
The battle lies before me.
There's an invisible barrier to the north of this immediate battlefield. This is to prevent you from engaging with Rimorgue troops to the north. Before this version, you could actually teleport through the barrier and proceed north, but they've patched that out since then. There is a tight turn limit of 10 turns if you want to succeed at your bonus objectives. Or we'll be pushing our guys, but we have 20 incredibly skilled squads. Trying to see how many. Alright. Looks like I have about roughly 3 guys who can rush in and engage them.
We will always find a way.
When we go and start with that then. That's fine.
Ready for the barbecue.
Here, she has a speed of 9, so if she were here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, she could easily take them on. So what if I were here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She could not. If she were here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if she got either the Donar Blessing or the Jade Figurine, if she were here, she could rush in and take this guy out before he suicides. So we'll need to clear this man out first. She did not get her jade figurine activated, so will you use our blessing now?
You make this too easy.
I love this part.
Do not be reckless. The time to act is now.
Whoops.
Ready.
Not that it matters too much.
The army is ready.
I'm thinking about if I should use any of my powers, and I'm not really sure I should at this time.
Dinner time.
Stormrook is finally ours! We're in the belly of the beast, no turning back now! Move our base of operations here. Stormrook will be our springboard to assault Rimorgue City. Brood of Galatos the Red, the time is now! Dive onto Stormrook and destroy the invaders! Didn't learn the first time, Tran. You'll pay a heavy price for your arrogance. This is our last chance. We are the elite, the proudest sons of Viridia. Today we defend our homeland. Knights of the First Army, push south and make Tran regret ever coming here. War historians have always salivated at the idea of a decisive battle taking place here at the Rimorgue River Valley. But rarely would any army be in a position to oppose whoever controls it. Here we stand now, about to face the best of Casamir's army. Our truest test begins now. And to today's victor goes the fate of the world. Stuck in a castle just like before. Casamir, just to hunt you down, I'll find a third chance at life if I die today. Not this time. Tran, show them the power of the Nephilim army. These 5 dragons and these 20 cavalry will not surrender. Everybody else is fair game. We need 7. So we have 4 here, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have enough in this section here. So why don't we go ahead and... Wish I had a temporal modulator for Beatrix. She doesn't have enough capacity for that.
getting real thirsty here. Oh, sorry. Did you need something?
You don't have wizards, so it's probably best if I send you on the side here.
Bet you didn't see this one coming.
Repent before the righteous.
Jeez! Since he's already moved, we're gonna make him retreat. And we'll go ahead and deploy Synthos the Muse. I would have liked to have a teleport, but I don't think... I've already used the teleport to get him out closer to here. But I probably should have saved it for Synthos the Muse. It's fine. I don't really need to send him out on his own. These 10 will first charge, and these 10 will wait a second before charging. Trihan is here, he counts as the boss enemy. Oh, his music counts as a boss enemy.
People from my homeland. Battle formations.
The reason why my sentinels are over the water is just because I think it looks cooler when they're fighting over it.
Stay strong, everyone.
These bridges also are created when this wall is shattered. All of this is triggered by you capturing Stormrook. That should be enough to soften him up for this.
Ready for the barbecue.
Really not much of a point to tear her, but there's no one else I can immediately tear that would be useful, and I'm pretty sure I'll get another charge by the time I'm ready to engage people. We're gonna just terror this guy and see if by the time I terror him again, he'll be less than fair. It says significantly reduces morale, but from good to fair is hardly significant. I know I'm leaving Stormrook undefended. If the enemy flies into it, I lose. I'm not expecting them to get past my 4 units down here. Remember, now that I'm not trying to make these guys surrender, the kid gloves come off. We have currently 17-3, 16-3, 16. So he's the weakest one. So what we'll do is we'll put him in a position to get attacked by maybe 2 of them. So we'll say we'll put him here. And then these next 2. I guess. Alright, so you're 16-3, 7. Right there is, I think, what I'm doing. And then these next-ish group. I'm not exactly sure this will work out the way I expect it to, but basically I'm thinking the enemy's going to make this guy move. He's going to say, oh, which is the lowest threat value guy? He's going to think, not this guy, not this guy, we'll go for him. So basically this should make all of them start hitting the Sentinels on their own.
Do you know who I am?
Now that being said, it's not too necessary. I should be okay. I do insist that I can lose guys if I'm not careful. The reason why I play so strenuously is, since this is permadeath, we want to avoid that as much as possible.
You make this too easy.
Time to end this.
What's our next tactic? I must stay strong.
Making sure I've got my lines drawn carefully. So yeah, as long as I stay within this line here, I should be alright. Sometimes the enemy move, though, as we established in an earlier episode, is not 100% accurate, but it is pretty accurate.
I love this part.
Where am I needed?
Let's say if that plan is successful. If my Citadels get surrounded, they're toast. So this entire plan hinges on the fact that I am correct. See, they retreat, which does not add to my faction XP or ransom bounty at the end of the map. Retreat is only done for enemies who will never surrender. Although the leader is a Dragoon, those squads' movements counts as infantry due to the cannons.
A paladin never surrenders.
As with my strategy in XCOM, I tried to use the units furthest away because they have the fewest targets available.
Getting real thirsty here.
Stefan doesn't get the awesome upgrade Diana does, but he does get a new sword, which is reflected in his portrait. This gives him the trait Mirage, which says every attack and every counterattack Stefan uses will be a stealth attack.
How can I help, my lord? Awaiting your orders.
This is Barnabas's home, Melmond. Alright, who's the weakest of you? Looks like you are. So what we'll do is, although I'm not trying to get the enemy to charge him specifically, we're going to give him just a little bit of extra protection. Who hasn't moved? Oh, you haven't. Okay.
Dinner time. Ready for the barbecue.
Now it's my turn.
Who I am?
Repent before the righteous. Where am I needed?
Bet you didn't see this one coming.
He will always find a way.
Goodbye.
Break their resolve.
Even if you didn't destroy the Denari Temple as the Hand of Xanatos, it would still be gone because this is technically a different map. They reuse the same tiles, but I would imagine that in terms of game coding, it's a completely different map. I'm assuming this is infantry, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should be okay. We'll just stop here just in case. What was he? Yeah, he is infantry. Okay.
The time to act is now. Ready.
He won't surrender, but we're gonna do a forced surrender anyways, just to let Tran and Trihan have one last reunion.
You make this too easy. Dinner time.
Now these guys will surrender, so don't get too carried away. On my first run at this, I forget, and I've killed a few of them before I realized I should have been surrendering them. And there's no real reason not to meteor them, other than the fact I don't like meteoring by the city. It just seems cruel, so...
The army is ready.
Alright, so we have one objective and one enemy squad left. Is that correct? One squad, one objective. Yeah, and we're doing well on time too.
ready for the barbecue.
A paladin never surrenders.
Synthos the Muse is equipped with a blood staff and has 2 lightning mages, whereas many of my squads only have 1. Plus, I don't have enough Boots of Tyranny for all 21 squads. I have like 19 or 18 Boots of Tyranny, which is, I'm sure, a lot. Just not as many as I could have. I'm assuming this group does not surrender at all because it's fearless and it's cultists, but we'll go and try anyways because I don't think they're going to kill the dragon on top. Yeah. Oh, come on. Can I shuffle? No, I don't think so. They're all cavalry, so cavalry do not shuffle. Neither do air cav. So yeah, we just got an intern, I think. There is a bazaar over here, but since we are moving on with the game, we'll just take a peek inside to see what this randomly generated bazaar is, but we're not, in a way, keeping this playthrough. For the reason is, if Chapter 26 is the last mission where you can do side quests, if they ever add DLC, I want to have 26 is my stop point. That's where I'm keeping my main army, my save for that. So let's just take a peek inside what kind of stuff we could get. I mean, we're gonna bulldoze to the end of the game with this army, but I'm keeping a backup save where I'll consider that my real army. So let's see here, we have Valkyrie, a new Valkyrie. It's different, same name, different person. Rainer. Okay. Another treasure hunter. That's pretty cool. And I don't need any more dragons. I actually have one more dragon than I need when I try fielding my armies. This is the kind of stuff that is in the map. But yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Again, we're just basically pile driving, steamrolling. I'm not sure what the word is for this one. Straight to the end with this army. Normally what I do is I play 2 separate files, one on an older save, so I can show you the original ending, and then one on the new save, which I record that. Rimorgue has fallen. Casamir just lost his best troops, and he's about to lose the capital. Yes, the little empire has outlived its usefulness, but much progress has been made. We have all but erased the Denari Temple from memory. Now we need but rid ourselves of the false one, and everything will fall into place quite easily. The little empire? How cavalier you are. I could have turned the tide against them. It is such a waste, but there is no point now, is there? Oh, but you see, this is no bother. Let the false one dispose of Casamir for us. I've grown quite weary of the burden of his existence. The false one will come for the light fury, but instead he will find only death. And so we'll bring to a close the final chapter in the age of human ignorance. Tran has conquered the world in a matter of months. What makes you so confident that you'll be the one who beats him? Because I am the first to attack him where he is vulnerable. His rise to power has made him arrogant and severely lacking in foresight. Tran stands upon precarious ground and does not realize it. One only needs to recognize this weakness and act on it. Give it a little tip in the right direction. In the end, you will see true elegance of execution, my champion. Thank you very much for watching Tran Wins Symphony of War. I'll see you next time.